Welcome to our video on the 7 best 65-inch TVs for 2024. Today, we'll be exploring the top options that deliver incredible picture quality, immersive sound, and cutting-edge smart features. Whether you're a movie buff, a gaming enthusiast, or just love binge-watching your favorite shows, these TVs are sure to enhance your viewing experience. If you find this video helpful, please hit the like button, subscribe to our channel for more tech insights, and share your thoughts in the comments section. All the product buying links are provided in the video description. Let's get started and find the perfect 65-inch TV for you. Number 1. Roku 65R 4A5R. If you want to spend less on a basic TV, the Roku 65R 4A5R, also known as the Roku Select Series, is the best cheap TV we've tested that's available in a 65-inch size. It's a decent TV with satisfactory reflection handling to help reduce the appearance of glare. In a bright room, it has fewer features than the Hisense U6K, as it doesn't have any form of motion interpolation, lacks a local dimming feature, and has inadequate image processing. It's also not the brightest TV in HDR, but it's decent for watching movies in a dark room with its adequate contrast, great black uniformity, and excellent color and HDR brightness accuracy. Plus, the TV has very good peak brightness in SDR, which results in a pleasant viewing experience with SDR content in a bright room. It has a great response time and very low input lag, so it's still a great gaming TV if you don't care about advanced features like VRR or a 120Hz refresh rate. It comes with the great Roku TV Smart Platform, which is extremely fast, simple, and easy to use with a great selection of streaming channels. It has a good remote with an integrated microphone for voice commands, or you can also give commands through the Roku Companion app on your phone. You can also plug headphones into the remote, a great feature at this price point. Overall, the TV is decent and provides a good user experience, especially at this price. Still, if you're a Costco member, you can get the slightly better Hisense A65K for a similar price. If Costco isn't an option, the Roku is an amazing choice. Number 2. Hisense 65U6K. If money is a bit tighter, the Hisense 65U6K is the best budget 65-inch TV we've tested. It's a step down in performance from the Hisense U7 because it doesn't get as bright, so highlights don't pop as much and colors aren't as vibrant due to the TV's lower peak brightness. However, it still delivers surprisingly good picture quality, especially for its price range. Its excellent contrast ratio makes blacks look deep and inky in dark rooms with some but not excessive blooming around bright highlights. It also has good peak brightness in SDR with decent reflection handling, so it's a great choice for a brighter room. It's bright enough in HDR for some highlights to stand out, and just like its bigger sibling, it supports both HDR10+ and Dolby Vision HDR, although it doesn't support advanced DTS audio formats. It's a well-equipped TV with a great selection of smart features and a few gaming perks. Its image processing is significantly worse than on the more expensive Hisense, so there's visible digital noise when watching low bitrate content from streaming platforms. Still, it's a great TV for gaming as it has superbly low input lag and variable refresh rate support for a responsive, nearly tear-free gaming experience. While it has a lower 60Hz refresh rate than the 120Hz on the U7N, it's still a great gaming TV with a fast response time, low input lag, and variable refresh rate (VAR) support that works well with the PS5 and Xbox Series X. The 2024 Hisense U6N is now available. It's supposed to have better contrast and an increase in brightness, but it's also a lot more expensive at first. Unless you need those incremental upgrades, you're better off getting the cheaper U6K while it's still available. Number 3. Hisense 65U7N. If you'd rather have an LED TV but can't afford something like the Sony Bravia 9Q LED, the Hisense 65U7 is an excellent option. The TV isn't as bright as the Bravia 9, but it's still very bright, and it has amazing reflection handling, so it overcomes glare in a bright room. If you also use your TV in a darkroom, its excellent contrast delivers deep blacks, although there's noticeable blooming around bright highlights when they're against a dark background. Highlights in HDR content really stand out and colors are vibrant due to the TV's excellent HDR brightness and wide color gamut, delivering an impactful HDR experience. It also supports HDR10, HDR10 Plus, and Dolby Vision, so it has every HDR format covered. Unfortunately, its viewing angle is very narrow, so it's not the best choice for watching movies or shows with a big group of friends. Despite its price, the TV is packed with gaming features. It has HDMI 2.1 bandwidth on 2 of its ports, both capable of up to 4K, here 1:1.3 GHz. It also has VRR support and auto low latency mode, ALM, so you are fully covered if you own either an Xbox Series X Dulcis or a PS5. Its incredibly low input lag means it delivers a responsive gaming experience, and its excellent response time delivers fast motion with minimal blur behind it. If you're looking to save some money and can find it in stock, you could opt for last year's Hisense U7K instead. It's not as bright as the U7, but it's still bright enough for use in most well-lit rooms. Number 4. LG OLED 65C3PUI. If you want a good home entertainment OLED but don't want to get the expensive Sony A95L OLED, check out one of the best upper mid-range TVs we've tested, the LG OLED 65C3PUI. It's a premium TV with perfect blacks that delivers stunning picture quality, especially in dark rooms, and thanks to its near-infinite contrast ratio, there's no blooming around bright objects. Its reflection handling is incredible, and it gets bright enough to fight glare in moderately lit rooms, but it's not bright enough to overcome glare in a well-lit room. Its walled panel isn't as bright or colorful as the QD OLED panel in the Samsung S90C OLED. However, the LG TV partly makes up for it by being more versatile, as it has better image processing, Dolby Vision HDR support, Dolby Vision gaming at 120Hz, and can pass through advanced DTS audio formats. It's also a great TV for gamers, supporting all variable refresh rate (VRR) technologies for a nearly tear-free gaming experience from any VRR-enabled source. Its 4 HDMI ports have HDMI 2.1 bandwidth for 4K RAR 120 Hz gaming from a recent console or gaming PC. Ultimately, you can't beat an OLED if you use your TV mostly in a darkroom. If you love this TV but wish it were more vibrant, consider the more expensive LG G3 OLED. The G3 is one of the brightest OLEDs on the market and is certainly brighter than the C3, but the price difference is not worth it for most people. The 2024 LG C4 OLED is also now available. It has minor upgrades like better HDR accuracy and slightly better HDR brightness, and it supports up to 4K. 144Hz for PC gamers with high-end rigs. Unfortunately, it's quite expensive at launch. Unless you're a gamer with a powerful PC, your money is better spent on the cheaper C3 OLED while it's still available and on sale. Number 5. Sony K65XR90. The Sony K65XR90 is the best 65-inch TV for bright rooms. Its superb reflection handling and SDR brightness mean it easily overcomes glare in the brightest of rooms, so you aren't distracted by reflections on your TV screen. As impressive as this TV is in a bright room, it also looks spectacular in a dark room. It has exceptional contrast that delivers incredibly deep blacks that are close to what you get from an OLED, like the Sony A95L OLED with almost no blooming thanks to its highly effective local dimming control. It's also a great option for 4K Blu-ray collectors or those looking to get the most out of high-quality streaming services due to its support for Dolby Vision and DTS audio formats. The TV's image processing is excellent for upscaling and smoothing out low-quality content. It's also very accurate in both SDR and HDR, so it delivers an image that respects the content creator's intent. Unfortunately, its viewing angle is mediocre. It's not the best option if you regularly watch shows or movies with a big group of friends, since the image degrades when viewed from the sides of the screen. However, it's a great option if you need a TV that pairs well with modern consoles. It has HDMI 2.1 bandwidth on 2 ports, up to 4K RAW 120 Hz, and it supports VR, so it's fully compatible with the PS5 and Xbox Series X systems. On top of those features, the TV has a quick response time for minimal blur behind fast motion, and it has incredibly low input lag for a responsive gaming experience. It also has good speakers built in. If the 65-inch Bravia 9 is too expensive and you want a Sony TV, you could opt for last year's cheaper Sony X93L X93CL instead. Although its contrast isn't nearly as good as the Bravia 9's, it still delivers fairly deep blacks in a dark room. It's not as bright either, but it's bright enough to overcome glare. In a well-lit room, and you still get Sony's fantastic accuracy and image processing. Number 6. Sony XR65A95L. Although it's more expensive than the Samsung S90C OLED, if you want the best possible home theater experience, the Sony XR65A95L is the best 65-inch TV you can get. While it uses a QD-OLED panel like the Samsung model, it has much better image processing and its colors and brightness are more accurate overall, so it displays content the way its creator intended. It also supports Dolby Vision HDR, a more widely used dynamic HDR format than Samsung's HDR10+. If you like to play games, it's also a fantastic gaming TV with HDMI 2.1 bandwidth on 2 of its HDMI ports, VRR support, and very low input lag, even though it's a bit higher than on the Samsung. Unfortunately, one of its HDMI 2.1 ports is also the ERC port, so you'll need to work around that if you have multiple HDMI 2.1 devices. If you want to enhance your home theater setup with a surround sound system, you'll also be happy to know it supports audio pass-through for all common formats. It runs the Google TV interface with a sleek look and an easy-to-use menu. It has a massive selection of streaming apps, and the TV's built-in mic supports hands-free voice control, so you can easily find your favorite streaming shows even when you can't find the remote. If you want a Sony TV for the best home theater experience, but find the A95L too expensive, consider the Sony A80L A80CL OLED. It's a step down in overall brightness and color vibrancy due to its walled panel. However, it's still an amazing TV with great processing and advanced audio and video format support. Number 7. Samsung QN65's S90 CAF-XA. The best 65-inch TV we've tested is the Samsung QN65 S90 CAF-XA, commonly known as the S90C. It's an impressive TV that delivers fantastic picture quality and looks amazing with any content. Its QD-OLED panel provides a perfect contrast ratio with no distracting blooming around bright objects, and its colors are incredibly vibrant and realistic. It gets extremely bright, so highlights in HDR stand out. Well, and with its fantastic reflection handling, it can easily overcome glare in a bright room. Unfortunately, it doesn't support Dolby Vision HDR. It instead supports HDR10+, a similar, albeit not as widespread, HDR format. Otherwise, it's a fantastic TV with a great selection of extra features. It supports Bixby and Amazon's Alexa voice assistants, and its Tizen operating system is fast and easy to use. It's a fantastic TV for console gamers looking to get the most out of their Xbox Series X or PS5. It's also perfect for gamers wanting to take advantage of their recent PC GPU, as it supports 4K, over 140 Hz gaming on all 4 HDMI ports, and variable refresh rate (VRR) technology to help reduce screen tearing. If you're looking for something even better, the Samsung S95C OLED is Samsung's 2023 flagship option and is an amazing TV. It's brighter than the S90C, but for most people, it's not worth the significant price premium over its lower-tier sibling. The Samsung S90D S90D OLED is now available. It has less banding in colors, does a better job smoothing out low-quality content, and gets brighter in HDR, but it's also currently a lot more expensive. Unless you really want the small upgrades. It offers you're better off buying the cheaper S90C while it's still available. It's worth mentioning that Samsung's 2024 OLED lineup is confusing as they're releasing S90Ds with both WOLED and QD OLED panels, depending on the region and size.